You know, one of the things that I love about Christmas time are the Christmas movies. Maybe you and your family have a favorite Christmas movie. Well, one of the movies, or one of the books, I suppose, that has had the most movie adaptations is The Christmas Carol. And in The Christmas Carol, we meet Ebenezer Scrooge. And if Ebenezer Scrooge is any indication, then Christmas can really be called the unhappy holidays for some people that are maybe even struggling this season. Well, today's reading is from Revelation chapter 12. And you know, as I've previously shared, I think one of the most important things, keys that I look at in the book of Revelations actually comes out of Revelations chapter 1, verse 1, right? That talks about that when we remember that this is first and foremost a revelation about Jesus. So I've got my whiteboard here and I'm just drawing Jesus as a reminder to myself that first and foremost, Revelations is a revelation of Jesus Christ. And so I want to look through it, you know, through that lens. Now, funny enough, and you may not have got this at first, but as I read through Revelation chapter 12, I found some pretty strong parallels, in fact, to Christmas. First, I see this great plan that Jesus was the fulfillment of. There's this great plan of God that kind of unfolds, you know, even in the drama of Christmas, because Revelations 12 opens up with the story, right, about a virgin, a child to be born, and the pain of labor, right? The text says she was pregnant and crying out in birth pains. A virgin. Mary gives birth to a child. The child comes into the world through the pain of labor. The child arrives in simplicity, a stable stall in Bethlehem, right? In quietness beneath a star. In this birth of Jesus, God came to earth fully divine and fully man. Theologians and scholars, they call this the incarnation. John 1:14 says that God became flesh and dwelt among us, full of grace and full of truth. He came to earth, he lived a perfect life in our place, and he died a grueling death on the cross. And he rose again. And ultimately, he brings new life and salvation to all who believe. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says this, Christ makes all things new. Think for a minute what Christmas means. The newness, the freshness, the happiest of holidays, because we celebrate the birth of Christ. The holidays are happy when we look back at Christmas and we rediscover, right, Christ's love, Christ's mission, right? And all of this is summed up in his plan for our lives. Revelations 12, verses 3 through 5 specifically also really talk about the struggle, right? It talks about the struggle. Jesus doesn't come into this world in a time of peace, but in a time of struggle. And maybe that's something we can even relate to, right? Did you read, when you read Revelations 12, did you see that powerful imagery about that red dragon? I'm gonna try to draw a dragon over here on the whiteboard. That's not a very good dragon, I apologize. No, but it has this dragon, right? Fierce dragon opposed to the birth of the Christ child. You know, this dragon really does symbolize opposition, right? It refers to lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, to the pride of life. But more specifically, it serves as an inference that Satan is alive and well right here on planet Earth. You know, the drama of Revelation is powerful image of this red dragon. It really kind of indicates what Peter writes about over here in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Right, when Peter says that the devil is roaming around like a lion, right, looking to whom he may devour. The devil aims to destroy. Tension swirls around in our world. The struggle is real, you guys. The result of the devil's work is what? It's anger, it's bitterness, it's broken relationships, it's shattered hope. Our struggle is against sin, the flesh, and the devil. And that's exactly why Christ came, to restore the broken, to comfort the battered, to lift up the fallen, to remove all that anger and bitterness and replace it with joy. Christ wants to turn the unhappy holidays into the holy days of Christmas. Christ has come to bring peace, to bring hope, to bring love. We see here God's plan, we see here the struggle, but what Revelation 12 also highlights in terms of King Jesus is his power, right? It's his power to defeat even that fiery red dragon. Revelation 12:6 says, and her child was caught up to God in his throne. You know, this reminds me of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 3, that says we're to look to Jesus as the author and finisher of our faith. Jesus is with God in his throne, and that's where we're supposed to look. We look to Christ in Christmas. You know, in the tension, there's worldwide tension, there's stuff that's happening in Ukraine, there's local tension, perhaps as simple as like rising utility costs, and perhaps as serious as loved ones with very real health issues, very scary stuff happening, right? There's abandonment in marriages that are happening right here in our community of Marshfield. It's scary, it's tension, there's a struggle there. And yet, when we look to Christ, we see his power to overcome the struggle. If we look to Christ, we can ask him to make even our unhappy holidays holy. And so, you know, I think of Christmas, I think of the lights, the decorated trees, Mary and Joseph struggling into Bethlehem and on a starlit night. Think of the Christmas stable and the pain of labor and the sound of a baby wailing in the night. I think of Christmas, of angry King Herod, you know, and of a moaning mother, and of a sweating Joseph, and then the gentle coo of a child. I think of Christmas, the birth of a child, and the red dragon, and Jesus defeating evil. It doesn't have to be unhappy or unholy if we can look to Jesus. You know, I hope this Christmas, in the middle of the highs and in the middle of the lows, you can look to Jesus. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Did you know that on January 1st of 2023, we're starting a new Bible reading plan? The plan's gonna be great. It will feature readings from both the Old and New Testament. Now here's how you can sign up. You can head over to cornerstonemarshfield.com, and if you just come over here and if you click on events, you can then scroll down to the 2023 Bible Reading Plan button. Let's go ahead and click on that. If you're watching this on the video, you can see me doing it right here on my computer. But if you just click right here where it says click here to join the plan, which is exactly what I'm going to do, it's now going to go ahead and sign me up on the Bible app for this 2-year Bible reading plan. And so I'm going to accept that invitation. And now I'm all set. I'm ready to go for the new year. I've signed up for my new Bible reading plan. Would you join us? And let's make a New Year's resolution to dig deeper into God's Word. And you can do it right here with your family at Cornerstone. Thanks for watching.